add something positive to our community every week. We talk sports, and that's fun. But as you know, as I stated at the top of the show, I use sports as the orange juice. I give people the information I think that can be useful for them. And this information we're about to deliver to you, I think it will be extremely useful for anybody and everybody in our community. And if you are listening and you want to call in, the number is 605-313-4370. The code is 920. I am about to introduce to you a person who could potentially help you financially and put you in a situation to whereas hopefully you won't struggle financially any further. And if you're not struggling, she can put you in a situation where you can use your name and your talents to benefit you. Again, this is the End of the Bench podcast. This is Built for This Network, and I am going to introduce you to my friend Jasmin Alexander.
Good evening, everyone.
Thank you for coming on, Jazz. It's always good to hear from good people. Jasmin is a credit expert, if I can call you that, and she's going to offer you means to prepare, enhance, and how you can use your credit to benefit you and not as a detriment. A lot of people in our community don't respect the term, the process of credit, or they just may be ignorant to it. I won't even say, excuse me, we are ignorant to the process of credit. So Jasmin's going to educate us. Jasmin, give everybody your background so we can move forward and help our brothers and sisters.
Okay, well, once again, good evening, everyone. I am Jasmin Alexander, aka the Credit Lady of Unity Credit Solutions. That's my company. My background is I grew up on the west side of Chicago in the Abla home, and from there went to college, went to school, and I found myself picking up the niche to want to help individuals become credit worthy and help them build their credit. So that's a little bit about my background.
Okay. I got people in my chat room. They may be calling in. Again, if you want to call in and speak with Jasmin, you have any additional questions, or she's going to give you a means to get in contact with her later on. 605-313-4370 is the number. The access code is 920-547. Now, Jasmin, you a college educated woman. You're a college educated woman. You went into the workforce. How did you get involved in credit repair?
Well, the way that I got involved with credit, I was in my freshman year of college. I had recently just purchased a brand new vehicle. It was my first vehicle coming out of high school. Like I said, going into my first year of college. I had this vehicle for some time. Upon receiving this vehicle, I noticed that there was some erroneous information within the contract, and I never signed the original contract. So I was being charged a very, very high percentage rate for a vehicle, first of all, that should have been financed to me, but found out it was financed to someone else with a high interest rate. And so once I looked at my paperwork and I noticed this information, Ford, I'll give you the company, Ford Motor Company, they came after me and they were trying to sue me. So upon looking at this contract, I noticed that, first of all, I had never signed this contract. So how can you hold me liable for something that I never signed? And how can you hold me liable for something that's in somebody else's name? So right there, it showed me that something fraudulent was going on. I ended up going to court because they wanted to try to sue me. Made it to court. Ford attorneys, of course, were there. They were ready to go forward and sue me and make me pay for a vehicle, once again, that wasn't in my name at all. I was able to produce paperwork. Well, if this is my vehicle and you guys are stating that I'm responsible for making the payment on something that has not been turned over to me, then how do you expect for me to pay for something that I never signed? Produce documents that showed that I had the original contract. The attorney produced documents showing a signature on a piece of paper that wasn't even my signature at all. So here I am. I have the original contract, and we're bringing it before the judge. I'm asking the attorney, how do you have my signature on a piece of paper? And I have the original contract, and my signature was never even signed on this contract. So the case was thrown out. I won the case. It was favorable on my behalf. And it made me, after then, begin to question all creditors. Because if that can happen to me, then how many more other people was the same situation or a similar situation happening to, and they weren't knowledgeable about what to do? So many people who've lost so much money. Credit is now jacked up for items that's being reported as theirs, and it's not, and they're uneducated about how to dispute this information under the Fair Credit Reporting Act. So that's what made me get into credit. That's how I got into credit, that situation.
Okay, that's horrible, man. And you know what? A lot of people, they get in front of those judges and they get afraid, and they don't understand that if you can read, you can defend yourself.
And then they don't understand that there are laws out here under the FCRA. Anybody can go. You can pull up these laws under the Fair Credit Reporting Act, and there are laws for anything, whatever situation that you're going through as it relates to credit. There are laws that cover consumers.
And it's funny that you say that, Jasmin. The brother who called him, my older brother, Anu, he consistently requests that people look into the law and learn the law on a weekly basis. We do a show tomorrow. Not you welcome to call tomorrow. He beats into our heads. Learn the law, because once you learn the law, you cannot be cheated, because people won't pay attention to you when you learn. You know, once you learn what you need to know, people will back up off. And that's a good thing. You know? Yeah.
They will, and it's so true. And just speaking from experience, from working like with my clients, you know, a lot of times I get clients, they say, well, I tried to, you know, dispute it, or I tried to do certain things on my own. And with those of us who are in the credit industry, you know, and who is actually integral people, let me say that, let me put that out there. There are certain verbiage that we use. There are certain different tactics that we use. There are certain different letters and things like that we use, you know. And once you send that information, whether it's to a collection agency or credit bureau or third-party bureaus or the actual original creditor, it's like you have them now backed up against a wall, because they know this information as well, but they don't expect for consumers to know this information. So once you show them that you know that information, you have them backed into a wall, and they're willing to almost delete anything or even negotiate with you with certain terms.
And I know from experience, I know that I used to, for a long time, I was a debt collector. And once you let people know, and I used to arm people, that's how I was so successful with debt collector. I used to arm the people who owed the money with the information on what they needed to do, and they would trust me, and then they would pay me. Like, no, you don't have to do all this. I'm going to work with you, and I'm going to give you the information to defend yourself going forward. So you are 1,000% correct. Once people understand things, they will be more courageous and move forward. But our job today is to get them to understand that stuff, man. Give the people some of the things that, you know, what do people need to know? Some of the things that people need to know.
So some of the things that people need to understand and they need to know as it relates to credit. First of all, you need to understand what credit is, how it works for you. You need to actually get with someone, even if it's not me, if it's another credit expert that's out here. You need to know how to read your credit report yourself. You need to be able to look at your credit report. You need to be able to analyze your credit report, something simple, even as looking at an address. Things like that can be reported wrong. Or just say, for instance, this happens all the time. You have, let's say, for instance, you have a senior and you have a junior. Mm-hmm. Well, most of the time, what happens is credit bureaus, they merge those credit reports. Mm-hmm. Now, let's just say, for instance, John Black Sr. had a Capital One account, and that account was charged off. Well, what they end up doing is, without, Junior even knowing, John Black Jr. even knowing, they'll merge their report. So now Junior has a Capital One charge-off on his credit profile, and he's never even applied, And that's because most of the time they have the same name, and of course they actually lived at the same address. Mm-hmm. We don't pay attention to things like that. We don't pay attention to things as little as birthdays. We don't pay attention to all three different credit bureaus are reporting the same account, but then why are the amounts different that someone may owe? Mm. So even the account number, even the date that the account was open, those should be the same all across the board. Mm-hmm. So that's the first thing that a person should know about their credit before they're even trying to even establish or have credit extended to them. When I tell you, like, I beat this into my clients, even if I have DIYers who want to dispute their credit themselves. Mm-hmm. But for the main purpose of the ones that I work with, I make sure that once they completed the program with me, that they know how to analyze their credit. I shouldn't know everything about you, and you don't know these things about yourself. So my thing is, I create systems because everybody's situation is different. So I create a different system for each one of my clients because I try to give them something that's tangible, something that they can understand. And so something so simple as understanding how to read your credit report, how to analyze it. That's important. That's very important.
Okay. I'm gonna go off the beaten path for this one question. How does someone obtain a credit bureau, and how much does a copy of the credit bureau, and how much does it cost?
How much does it cost? Well, annually, each credit bureau will give a consumer a free credit report. And they can access that at myannualcreditreport.com. And they'll give you a printout of your credit report for free each year. Okay. I actually have, I'm an affiliate with one of the companies, Identity IQ, which when I bring clients on board, I have them to actually pull their tri-merge, which is all three bureaus. That's what tri-merge means. All three bureaus from my website.
Okay.
And then you also have Experian, which is credit check total. So you have different companies out here who will actually provide you with that information. And normally, if they're providing you information with a score, it's going to normally be between $27.99 or $29.99 a month. And so that's something that the consumer wants to really, really, really pay attention to. A lot of times, everybody creates an account with Credit Karma. That's okay. That's good. But that's a whole different scoring system. Credit Karma uses Vantage. And so Credit Check Total, Experian, you have Privacy Guard as well. There are so many companies that are out here, Identity IQ. They all pull your credit from a FICO scoring system. A lot of people argue and say, well, this score is accurate, that score is accurate. They all only just give you estimate of what your actual score is. And that all depends on who it is that you're trying to receive money from. So that's a whole different, thing. You have mortgage companies use a different FICO scoring system. You have auto financing companies use a whole other different system. You have lenders for credit cards and different things like that, banks. they all have certain scoring systems that they use. It's FICO